Mars song Grenade. And now this is more of a romantic relationship past story where you give so much to somebody and don't receive anything in return. And when you talk about looking at the past could be so many different things that have occurred. It could deal with like personal life, professional life, personal relationships, romantic relationships. It could be family, just different events that maybe occurred. Maybe it is some type of abuse you have experienced in your past, abandonment. There's so many different things that when you say letting go of the past, it could incorporate so many different possibilities. So in this case, this is having to do with a romantic relationship. And I'll show you how these lyrics can relate to my life, but not in a romantic relationship way. So let's get started with some lyrics. Gave you all I had, and you tossed it in the trash. In Bruno Mars' song Grenade, he's talking about a romantic relationship where you give so much to somebody and don't receive anything in return. But it just wasn't enough. You're unappreciated. I believe that the first lyrics tells my story. But it tells my story of everything I did to get my master's degree in social work, everything that I struggled with, working with the dean, transferring schools, dealing with internships, not finding internships, not having a good field instructor. They put me in the hole. If I got a second marginal pass, I was going to flunk out of school. So I did everything I could. And that's where I couldn't move on to my specialist year. So I didn't feel like I was valued. Same thing goes with this song. Moving on to the next lyrics. I'd catch a grenade for ya, throw my hand on a blade for ya. I'd jump in front of a train for ya. You know I'd do anything for ya. This is a really powerful chorus. These lyrics, it's tough to swallow. I'd catch a grenade for you. I'd jump in front of a train for you. This person would do so much for the person that they loved. Sacrifice so much. So, let's move on to the next lyrics. I would go through all this pain, take a bullet straight through my brain. I would die for you, but you won't do the same. So now they're talking about this pain, taking a bullet to the brain. I'd die for you, but you won't do the same? Oh, God. I don't know who wrote this song, but this song it's really tough with romantic relationships if you don't know your boundaries and what is important for you as a person and your sanity. If this person would not do the same for you, then that's an imbalanced relationship. That doesn't sound like a 50-50. I know relationships are not all 50-50, but this song does not sound like that at all. It sounds like this one person is giving everything and getting nothing back. Love. They're not getting any love back. They feel a lot of pain inside. So now we're going to look at a verse here. If my body was on fire, you'd watch me burn down in flames. You said you love me, you're a liar, 'cause you never, ever, ever did, baby. My gosh, if my body was on fire, you'd watch the flames burn? I don't know. Is these lyrics actually like this person is just venting? Are they just venting? Is it really that severe? That's a possibility. And, writing a song I did when I was in school in regards to a romantic relationship. Wake up and smell the coffee. I knew I was in a bad relationship, but I had a hard time getting out of it. Now, it was nothing compared to what is being described in these lyrics, but I wrote the song. I put it to music on piano, and that's the only song that I've ever written because there's nothing else in my life that's really pained me so much. So I guess I have found other ways of dealing with some relationships, be it friendships or romantically. It's like you're heartbroken. This person is feeling heartbroken. But I know people will do anything. When it comes to this romantic relationship, this is unacceptable. So I do question if this song was written because that's the type of relationship they were in, or was it written just like they just needed to vent. And like I said, I needed to vent in regards to this relationship that I was in. As I did get a minor in music, I could have gotten a double major with social work. But there's reasons why that didn't occur. That's why I took composition. And so I wrote that song. Basically, it was about, I know I need to get out. Wake up and smell the coffee, Laura. It was more of an emotional abuse. I called it verbal abuse. It's more labeled as emotional, but at the time I used it as verbal abuse. And verbal abuse or emotional abuse is much more difficult to recognize than, I would say, physical abuse or sexual abuse. But things are kept silent. And I feel that as someone that was in college and 20 years old, I just didn't know enough. If a person is talking to you and not treating you well and saying negative things about you, that can hurt you emotionally. And I don't think it's as visible or noticeable that you are being emotionally abused. It doesn't matter if it is like, a romantic relationship. It could be a parent. It could be a friend. It doesn't matter. But it's difficult to notice, especially when you're just 20 years old. So we just went through 4 different lyrics. Once again, I said it, those first 3 episodes we did, identity, facing your fears, and being human, imperfection. This song goes even deeper, I feel. I don't know if everybody notices when they are not being valued and appreciated, and they go beyond what they should and allow themselves to be treated like garbage. We need to think about that as any relationship. Even as I said, what I did with social work, that's not a relationship, but I did everything I possibly could before I got exhausted and I had to take a break from getting my degree, which ended up me not fulfilling 2 semesters of school. And it says letting go of the past. And I said that I didn't realize that I still had all this trauma. Yes, it is this podcast. When I attempted to retell my story about my depression. And in, January of 2024 is when I had to make that decision. Do I go YouTube or do I go back to school? And I felt like this was a traumatic event. So this is a past event, not a relationship. Since recording this, I was told that I have a relationship with the two schools. I had a relationship with my field advisors and my field instructors. So I said that this was not a relationship. I didn't think of it as a relationship, but I have just been told that yes, this is a relationship with the schools and with those that were supposed to help and guide me to fulfill getting my master's degree. And I know that in my videos that I have created, I know that I still show disappointment. Or I am still disappointed that I didn't get that degree. But I did put everything I possibly could into getting my degree. So yes, I had relationships with people from both schools that I worked with. And I had a 3.75 GPA in both schools. I did all my classwork. Everything had to do with the field instructors, the field advisors, and getting the internship. So I just want to emphasize that even though this is not a personal relationship with a person, you could still have a relationship with an organization. I think that you just can't immediately let go of past events. I do think that you need to reflect on them and look at whatever the situation is, and don't take the blame for everything, especially when it comes to relationships. Look at what maybe you did wrong as well. The question that I ask you today is there a time in your life that you sacrificed so much for something or someone that didn't value you? What were your emotions during this time? How did you handle that situation? Guys, I hope that you have enjoyed this episode. Please, if you missed it, check out my previous episode. We are doing this breathing activity to the song Breathe by the Backstreet Boys. And I really would like your feedback on this breathing activity, which includes music. I also want to let you know that since recording this, I have also made a full demonstration of this music-guided breathing activity with the Backstreet Boys song Breathe. And I'd really like to know what your feedback is. You can find the YouTube link, because it's only on YouTube, in the show notes below. I think it could benefit you if you check it out, especially when your mind is going crazy with a whole bunch of thoughts and it just won't stop. Happens to me at night, and I'm sure it's happened to you. It happens to everybody. So do check it out. It is basically a demonstration of how I translated my classical music playlist to this song, Breathe by the Backstreet Boys. Don't forget about my website. It's got all the episodes at harmonioushealing.net, YouTube channel videos, my journal. Do get that. Download it. All the links are down below, along with this song, Grenade by Bruno Mars. I also want to emphasize the importance of please getting the journal download PDF. This is a much more in-depth guided journal to help you with these episodes that we have discussed. In Grenade, in this subject of letting go of the past, which you can see I haven't let it go. It still is back there in regards to my degree. I want to show you just what you would be receiving. Here we have the reflection, what it is about, a description, the song title, repeating the lyrics that were reflected upon in the episode, as well as more reflection prompts, as well as a place for you to write your thoughts down. And then there is extra pages that you can write your thoughts down, as well as a guide to show you how to use this Lyrical Reflections journal PDF. So do get this, because I think it will help you guide you even further. And I do want to let you know that you can do this at your own pace. I also want to let you know that I have a t-shirt, Harmony is Healing, coming out, as well as a journal that you are welcome to buy. It should be coming out within the next week. So keep an eye out for that. I will be posting a picture of these on my YouTube channel. I hope that you guys have a good week. Reflect on this song, the lyrics, what it means to you. And we are going to be listening to some Destiny's Child next week. So come check it out. And remember this: music is healing. You are not alone. One lyric at a time. Take care, and I'll see you next week.